Y'all, so where do we even begin with this preview? If you have not seen the preview for season 3 of Wheel of Time, they gave us a sneak peek on their YouTube. Just search it, season 3 sneak peek, and come back to this. Girl, wigs are flying. Leandrin got her wig rocked. You know what I mean? But then the Black Ajah came out and started tearing wigs off. Like, I can't even. Let's go. Let's talk about it. All right. So, yes, as you know, they gave us a preview like 11 minutes. My goodness. My goodness. And we ate, and it was glorious. We're feasting. 11 minutes they gave us of, I think, the first episode. And let me tell you, a lot of the things that we were discussing in my previous video, links will be in my description, all that. A lot of the things that we were discussing that we saw in the trailer, the teaser, like, it's just, we were right on the money. We were right on the money. So let's start. Y'all already know, slight spoilers, because I am going through the books right now. So I might reference them. I'm not all the way done with the books, right? I might reference them and what happens in the future, just a heads up. So I just want to put a spoiler warning in general over the entire video so nobody get mad at me in the comments, okay? Like, spoilers. And also, I will be reviewing and recapping, whatever you want to call it, each and every episode of season 3. So make sure you subscribe. Stay tuned for that, because we always have fun. The girls who have been following for a minute will tell you that we always have fun with those recaps and reviews, okay? So let's talk about this preview, okay? So obviously we're at the White Tower. The weather is gloomy and hellish, representing the storm that has arrived at the White Tower, to say the least. Oh my gosh. All right. So Swan, oh my goodness. Hey, girlie, Landfair knocked your wig around, but I'm glad to see that you're still standing. I'm still here. And there go her wife, her ex-wife, whatever you want to call it, Moiraine. Hello, mama. She's walking around with my man, Leon. Now, I don't know what's going. Okay, so the keeper comes in, right? And she says, hey, girl, she taps Swan on the shoulder. She's like, hey, what's tea? Mama, it's time. And so, like, she's like, all right, girl, she gathered her things. Then the red sitters come to Leandrin, who looks so good, by the way. Like, I love her outfit. Like, the outfits, the costuming, oh my gosh. It was already good, but like, y'all elevated it even more. I'm here for it. So the red sitters say to Leandrin, okay, girl, the Emerald has requested a meeting. Like, she's called you to the hall. Leandrin's like, all right, she can call me to the hall if she wants, but I have her tea. I know her secrets, so let's just get right to it. And the Reds say, all right, girl, like, like, we in this for real, girl. Like, they in the huddle now. Like, she's like, they're like, whatever happens, we're with you, okay? And so we see Alana enter, and she looked good. Like I said, I'm going to reiterate, these costumes are giving me everlasting life. She looked good. And her warders are just like, hey, girl, what if there are more Black Ajah in there? And Alana's like, well, girl, men can't enter the hall unless, like, there's, like, just cause or whatever. And this is one of the reasons why, I don't know, the White Tower reminds me so much of, like, church and the church days. Oh my gosh, I could throw up. Don't make me throw up. But yeah, it reminds me of church, because it's like something could be staring you dead in the face, and instead of altering custom or saying, well, tradition doesn't apply here, like, I'm gonna need my water with me, like, they will really sit around and say, well, no, we've always done it this way, so we have to continue to do it this way, even though we can see clear danger ahead and we should change what we're doing. So I just think those, like, the traditions and customs, like, part of the White Tower is so interesting, because, like, it reflects, obviously, the real world and how people will really dig their heels in because of tradition and custom, but not follow what their instinct and heart is telling them. Like, girl, no, I need my waters with me, girl. Like, please. Even though no shade to the wart, no shade, but, like, I don't know what no water gonna do against, a bunch of acid, no shade. Like, and we're gonna revisit that topic. We're gonna revisit that. Now, so they walk in and we realize that Reds are not allowed into the hall, per Suwan's decree or whatever. Only Leandrin will be addressed in this meeting. And of course, I think Suwan does this under the impression that the Black Ajah are only really in the Red Ajah, you know what I mean? Like only a part of, or mainly a part of the Red Ajah. So like sealing them out, I guess she thought that she was doing the right thing by like containing the Black Ajah, think with the presumption, by assuming that most of the Black Ajah or all of them were in the Red Ajah. Does that make sense? And I don't know if I can blame Swan for this. Like for this decision, I can't say that I would have made a different one, but I think, you know, just given what I thought, if I was Swan, right? Like given what I thought I knew. But I will say that doing this to the Reds will really, I think, come back to bite Swan when it comes to like Elida, the future of Swan's, I guess you could say, rule reign. I don't know if that applies to Emerald, but you know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of what happened in this preview will come back to sting Swan like real bad, obviously because of what happens in the books, but like it'll be cool to see how it unfolds in the show. So they're walking in, right? And I love this fake smile that Alana gives to Leandrin, like, girl, you know we got your tea, right? Like she's like, girl, you know we got your tea, right? The keeper says, attend you all, she comes, the watcher of the seals, the flame of Tarvalon, the Emerald seat. Yes, and my queen comes to sit. Y'all better put some respect on mother's name, right? And she says to Leandrin, girl, do you know what the tea really is, mama? Like, that's what she says. She's like, do you know why you're really here? And Leandrin's like, girl, because you want me to shut up, you want to silence me. I accuse you, mother, of breaking tower custom and law. You're meeting up with Moiraine, who you banished. You're meeting up with a man who can channel Rand al'Thor. And on top of being a man who can channel, he has declared himself the Dragon Reborn in Fawn. We must cage and control him, but mother willingly let him escape. And of course, Suwan asks for proof of this. She says, I mean, if you got my tea, girl, then you really gonna have to put it on the table. Like, I'm gonna need to see some kettles, some teacups, girl, because like other if you ain't got no proof, just keep it quiet. Because she says, I can't lie. Obviously, I'm Aes Sedai. If any of this were true, then the tower could challenge my authority, depose me, all kind of stuff. And all I will say in that regard is that Swan's storyline will be very. Anyway, I'm not even gonna say nothing, y'all. Like, anyway. So instead of answering Leandrin's charges directly, because she definitely have to lie about like a lot of the stuff that Leandrin has brought up, and she can't lie by the oath rod. So instead of answering Leandrin's charges directly, she just flips the script and says, hey girl, I know that you're a dark friend. You've sworn yourself to the shadow. And the proof I have of that is the fact that you sold Nynaeve Almira to the Sean Chan, and in walks my good sis Nynaeve in her good deaconess gown, honey. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? In this good white deaconess baptism gown, girl. Get out my face. This accepted white. And now I'm sure Leandrin never expected to see Nynaeve again, right? So she's a little gagged here, but she scoffs, right? Scoffs it off and says, you know what? I tried. You know, like I did my best. Mogedion gonna have one of these girls gonna have my head. Like, let's just get to it. And so Leandrin starts to channel. Now we know from the books that it is much harder to shield someone who has already powered up, like has already grabbed the power, versus someone who has not. But it was two Aes Sedai that did it, I think, shielding Leandrin, Alana, and the Keeper. So she definitely couldn't channel. Miss Leandrin definitely could not channel after that. Suwan then says to Leandrin, you dare use the power against your sister in this hall? In this place? Do you hear what I'm saying to you? I love how she walks down the dais, like her facial expression, like she's so gagged, like she even has to draw up the one power right now. Like, how dare you even try it, Leandrin? The CGI looks so good, y'all. Like the magic, the weaving, the one power, whatever, like looks amazing. And just like I said in my trailer reaction, Suwan used flows of air to lift Leandrin up, right? People were like, oh my gosh, why is Leandrin flying? That's not book accurate. And I'm just like, what would make you think that she's flying? Like you saw, we both watched it. We all watched the same teaser and trailer. You really thought Swan lifted her hand up and Leandrin, like you really thought that was Leandrin flying? Anyway, so we saw what actually happened. Music is so amazing here, by the way. Like it's just, Swan said, "You have betrayed us all. You will be tried, stilled, and give up every member of the Black Ajah before you die." She had Leandrin in this ball of flame that was just ridiculous. I just love seeing Swan's like power, right? Unleashed, right? I'm sorry, this shot was like I said, just so amazing. Leandrin suspended in the air and all those flows around Swan, like, oh my gosh. Now all the Black Ajah sisters are looking at each other while Leandrin says to Swan, "You're right, basically. I will give you the Black Ajah." Leandrin speaks to them, telling them to join her, and they, and boy, do they. Okay? And two Aes Sedai started off by throwing weaves of fire and air at Swan, but the Keeper blocks it, and that was so much fun. Alana blocks attacks from two more Aes Sedai, and it's like the shields, come on. The Black Ajah then all come together to take their positions in the middle of the hall. Their attacks were blocked yet again by the Keeper's shield. These shields look amazing. What? And my thing, watching this, I was like, yo, if the Aes Sedai could do all this crazy stuff, and we know this, like I know, but like seeing it, I cannot wait to see how things will look by the end of the series with all the things that Rand will inevitably, right, be able to do. So cool. I mean, the Aes Sedai are getting torn up. They're tearing each other up. Those blades of air, oh my gosh. They ain't nothing to play with. Now over here, our girl Nynaeve act like she really acting like she gonna do something, you know, but of course she's probably extremely terrified right now or just like nervous, shook, but she's not angry, so she can't channel. That block is annoying me, y'all. Nynaeve, you gonna have to stand up. Woo, girl. I mean, she holding out her hands. I'm just like, what are you holding your hands out for? It ain't nothing coming out of them, girl. She holding out her hands like she like asking you for a quarter or something. Like, Nynaeve, just sit down, bro. Sit down, bro. Go back to your room. No shade. I love you, girl, but like you gonna have to get past that block before you can really tussle with the girls. Ain't no. As soon as you felt somebody holding a one power, which you can do, as soon as you felt that, you should have been walking outside, walking right back to the bathroom. You should have been like, "Excuse me, girl, hold up your hand like they do in church and go outside. Go to the bathroom, girl. You already know they about to start fighting, girl. Why are you here? You're not angry. You're scared, mama." You should, as soon as you felt them embracing Saida, you should have got yourself. All they needed you to do was show your face, show your ID for a little bit, you know, for a couple seconds, scare Leandrin in the court, and then get out, girl. Like, you really didn't need to be here, girl. Now, I was screaming because, like, these shots reminded me of that one scene in Avengers Age of Ultron when, like, all the heroes were in, like, this center here, and the camera was going around them all in a circle. I was just, it was so good. It was so good. Leandrin and Swan screaming at each other while wielding the one power, the sparks of the one power going off in slow motion. Like, I'm sorry, like the showrunners eating this. They're eating it. Leandrin throwing up blood because of all the damage and pain. Because of, you know, the channel. Let's get into it. Like, if we gonna do it, let's do it. This is what I'm talking about. But then Miss Bowling Ball Head over here throws a rock at Swan and takes her down. Now, I love how Alana and the Keeper both stop fighting when Swan falls, and how the Keeper screams mother, and we hear and see it happening in slow motion. I thought that was so much fun. Okay, switching here. I love this scene because this Aes Sedai is like to Varian. She's like, "Oh my gosh, what's happening in the hall? I have no idea. Why doesn't someone go and help the Amyrlin? Can someone please help the Amyrlin?" Like she really cares, right? It was just so great because when I was first watching this scene, I was like, "Oh, she's really concerned." But when they got in that room, it was evident that she was not, and that she is Black Ajah. She was like, "Finally, I don't have to listen to your BS anymore." That's what she said to Varian. And so I definitely think that Red used whatever she did. She included flows of spirit or whatever, like spirit, when she executed whatever attack she did. because we saw Varen block some of it, but she couldn't block all of it, right? The other Aes Sedai didn't block any at all. And although they both fainted, Varen was the only one of the two who kept her memories, it seems, because the other one woke up not even knowing who Varen was. So that's going to be interesting to revisit. So yeah, in the books, this, with all the Angreal or whatever, Terangreal, whatever, it happens a little differently if I remember. I think the Black Ajah sneak away with the Angreals or whatever under the cover of night. But I like this better, of course, more drama. Now, in the room, we could see certain, like, magical items, the twisted red door thing that Matt and Rand go through in the books. In the books, Matt goes through the one in Tyr, I think, but Rand goes through the one in Viridian. So they didn't cut Matt's, like, storyline, at least that part, off, like, with the fox head medallion. They just moved it. Because I definitely think they're cutting Tyr. Like, I mean, we haven't seen a glimpse of Kalendor. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? So I think they're cutting Tyr and just moving stuff around. I think the fox head medallion was in one of the posters for season 3 here. Yeah. So yeah, Matt still got his thing going on. I'm glad they made his stuff more interesting, put him in drag or something. Like, I'm so glad, because girl, what was he doing? We did not need. I'm just glad they changing it up, especially because we only have 8 episodes, y'all. Like, we just have to accelerate things. Okay, so one of the other items that we see also is this, which I think could either be one part of an ADOM or the domination bands for men, right? Or at least that's what I was thinking when I was watching it for the first time. And then when the Black Ajah picked up the domination band, or whatever, part of it, I knew that later on, that's what Leandrin was probably asking her for when they met up outside. You know what I mean? So, like, if she got it. So, yeah, I love this scene out here. Okay. Outside the hall, Alana's warders, as well as, like, the warders of all the other Aes Sedai, like, basically, who are in there and stuff, they're banging on the doors like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Let us in. So more Reds come and say to these warders, girl, move out the way and let us in. Like, girl, we actually trying to help. And to me, it makes sense that everyone is confused, because it started with basically Sawan locking the Reds out of the hall. And I guess once everybody else saw that, they're like, well, I guess that means we can't trust any Red. And so these Reds coming up like, yo, let us get in there. These warders are like, girl, well, we can't get you. Like, what do you mean? They locked y'all. They locked y'all out for a reason. We ain't let y'all in there. We don't trust y'all. But then in comes a green and yellow, the Green Jane or whatever, who one of Alana's warders recognizes, blasts a Red out of the way. And so they're like, okay, yeah, I'm glad someone's coming in to take care of these Reds, help us take care of these Reds. Battle Ajah ready to come save the day. Girl, that Aes Sedai looks at them like, no, I'm not helping y'all. I'm not helping y'all get in there. I don't think I will. And tries to blast them, but one of the Reds puts up this awesome looking shield. I can't wait to see more of these shields come up, girl. Like, they're so cool. I'm such a nerd. So this Red kills both of Jane's warders at the same time, right? And they, as well as I did, right, expected that to really have a deep effect on her, obviously, because we've already seen what happens when just one person in a water bond dies. Like, we see what happens to the other person in that bond, but imagine 2 water bonds being cut simultaneously, right? So they expected a very visceral reaction from her, but instead of immediately becoming like distraught and depressed, this Aes Sedai is like, oh my gosh, that feels so good. Obviously, because, you know, if you're a dark friend, you're serving a dark one now, so things are a little different with the magic. I like that. That's a fun touch. Why not? I love how this particular Red Aes Sedai, I love how she looked in disgust, like, oh girl, here she goes. She getting off on these warders' deaths. She definitely a dark friend. Now back to the fight in the hall. I really love how Miss Bowling Ball here tugged on the power and pulled the glass panes behind her enemies right on out. It was just a fun scene, especially because of that. Because after that, Alana threw Miss Girl across the room. I was like, oh my gosh. And then I was looking at this like, y'all need to hurry up and heal Sawan. What are y'all doing? Well, hurry up. I know y'all going as fast as y'all can. The Keeper said, screw all that one power stuff. I'm just gonna curb stomp Miss Mama's over here. What did Brooke Valentine say on the remix? A girl fight? She said, I don't fight. I don't argue. I just hit that chick with a bottle. That's exactly what she did. She hit that chick with a staff. So now after Swan is healed enough, she gets up to face Leandrin again. But it's too late. Leandrin, with all that blood on her face, oh my gosh, she looks so crazy. She tells her sisters, link with me. I love that. Link with me. And they do. That's what I be telling your man. Link with me. That's what I be telling your man. That's what I be telling your dad. Link with me. They do. And you can see Leandrin covered in the one power. This tornado of one power magic that's at the center between all of them, right? And they just smashed that hall to smithereens. I loved it. I mean, you can even see Moraine and Lan looking at the explosion from outside. At this point, Alana is gagged. She's like, how can so many be sworn to the shadow? And like, keep in mind, this is not just like, oh, the Black Ajah managed to get up in the sitters, like the people who you see what I'm saying? They're meeting in the hall, like the leaders of the, like they are deep in y'all stuff, deep in it. So after the Black Ajah gonna say, okay, like we have to get to the docks. I think Leandrin said that. Literally, the Amaryllis Seat herself is on the street looking for the Black Ajah. You have to think about how crazy that would be to the people in the city. You have to think about this. Because, like, they would be like, yo, why is the Amaryllis Seat the person who could put kings and queens in their place? You see what I'm saying? The person who all up in people's palaces, like, influence, the Aes Sedai, like, the queen of queens. Why is she walking the streets of the city, wig disheveled and everything? You see what I'm saying? Like, the citizens are going to be able to see that something is extremely wrong. Like, they just saw something in the White Tower explode. And so I think Swan is so, like, this just represents how much Swan is completely unraveling just because of what, like, politically, like, and it shows how dire the situation is to Swan with the Black Ajah, because she knows that the optics look crazy that she out here. I'm sure she does, but that matters less than keeping a lid on the Black Ajah, making sure they don't leave the city, whatever. And to me, it's too late to be doing all this because they've infiltrated your entire organization. Like, doing this don't make no sense to me. Like, girl, just go back home and sit down, retreat and regroup, girl. I just think the optics of this is good. Like, the news of this is going to spread all over the place. And so I think that this is probably what gets the Queen of Andor and Elida to pull up. Like, yo, what is going on, bro? On top of all of this, Elaine, we still don't know what's going on with Elaine. What's going on? You see what I'm saying? So Alana finds the Black Ajah trying to escape and says, y'all ain't leaving here alive. And I'm just like, all right, girl, I don't know about all that. Like, from the looks of the trailer, first of all, Alana, no shade to you. Well, actually, all shade. The girls gonna know what I'm talking about as the story progresses. But one of your warders, I think that, spoiler alert, I guess, but I already said this. I think that one of your warders dies, Alana, and they do, like, the Black Ajah do get away. And of course that sets up your storyline perfectly. The girls who know it know it. Girl, I would have told my warders not to come out here. Like, it's way too many Aes Sedai out here for these sword swinging, you know what I mean, no powers having warders to be thinking they gonna do something, girl. Y'all need to just go home. These warders need to just go home and make sure Alana food is ready and make sure it's good on the make sure it's hot on the stove when she get home. That's what y'all need to be doing. I don't know why y'all here. And even Alana, no shade to you, mama, but I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, there's way too many Aes Sedai here, like, for you to be thinking that you alone is going to be. And I understand that Green Ajahs battle Ajah and they like soldiers and, you know, for the last battle. And so they're going to put their life on the line. But I'm just like, girl, I guess maybe then I can't be no Green Ajah because I'm not going to put my life on the line for no reason like that. No shade. Like, girl, I'm going to do it strategically. Maybe I'll take out one or two of y'all, but I'm not standing in front of 7, 8 of y'all and think and go act like, oh yeah, I'm big and bad. Nah, girl, if that's the case, if that's what Green Ajah do, then maybe I'm blue or something. But like, I thought I was green. If you got to do this to be green, I'm not green. But like, you know what I mean? I'm not, it's too many Aes Sedai here. What you talking about, bro? Alana talking about y'all ain't gonna leave here alive. Like, okay, but like, you know, I'm glad to see a fight, but it would never be me. 1-on-1, maybe you might get, I might be one Aes Sedai versus two, but even that is pushing it, because two were able to shield Leandra like it was nothing. One of y'all is good enough to fight on y'all own. That's it, girl. I don't know. This was so amazing, setting the bar for fantasy TV. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about like how good the magic looks. Let's talk about the costuming. Like, let's talk about the cinematography. Let's talk about the choreography. Let's talk about the acting skills and level. Let's talk about it. Y'all, I'm gonna be reviewing every single episode. Make sure you stay tuned in. Thank you so much for watching. Love y'all so much. And I'll catch y'all later. Peace. Make sure that you're going to www.zeraxia.com. When you join the waitlist there on the site, you will be the first to be notified when I drop my sequel. Also, you'll immediately get chapter 1 of my upcoming sequel of the upcoming book sent to your email as a PDF. So check that out. Also, this is a different excerpt from my upcoming book, so you definitely want to pause to read if you're trying to get your life. Keep in mind that this upcoming book, this sequel, is following up the first book that is already released called Zeraxia, Wrath of the God King. I released it a few years ago. It was my introduction to writing fantasy and stuff, so just go easy on me. But either way, as you can see here, it's given 4.9 stars. It's given 4.9 stars. So yeah, check out Zeraxia, Wrath of the God King while you wait for Zeraxia, The Vengeance of Cold Wind, right? And go to Zeraxia.com, sign up, join the waitlist, get your free chapter. Thank you so much.